favor, introduce yourself, who you are and what you do.
Hey, what's up, Carlos Imani? What do I do? Man, a whole hell of a lot, man. Flavor, Elite Collective, Elite Photo Booth, C-Spot, Alumni, Seattle Native, World Traveler.
All right, nice. How did you get your start doing what you do? You do a lot of stuff, but what was like the first step in the door for you?
For me, I learned at a young age that I do not like to work for people. But at the same time, I like things. Things generally cost money, so you got to figure out a way to make it.
Right.
So I had a bunch of odd jobs throughout wherever, and then getting into college. My thing, like my idea, like, ooh, I like working with people and kind of like figuring stuff out. I was really good, like, in just going back to high school, like group projects. I could kind of jump in and, I was kind of like that igniter of ideas and presentations and stuff. So in my head, I was like, all right, I think a business consultant track would be good for me. So that's kind of like my idea of going to college to be a business consultant. So your basic classes to go that route. But while I was doing it, I'm always on my side hustle and whatnot, and I kind of got into this whole photography thing. It was like early 2000s, so it was like digital photography was like just kind of coming on. This is before cameras were on phones or any of that, and basically just kind of out at parties. I mean, we're talking like Mahente Black Planet Day, so I mean, really we're just wanting to take pictures, just throw on our Black Planet so we can get at chicks. It's generally the motivation of most things in the world. And that kind of just turned into, all right, I'm the guy, throwing these house parties in college and taking pictures and, throwing up on our little sites and, doing our little thing. And then I started, was at one of these college parties and my guy, DJ Kun Love was spinning and he just kind of seen me doing my thing. Like, yo, you're kind of already doing this. You got your own camera, you're out at these parties, you're interacting, you're taking photos. We'd love for you to work and shoot for C-Spot. So at that point, I had my cousin's fake ID at 17. He's 4 years older than me, so it's kind of going out a little bit already. And then at that point, I was 19, and basically kind of got like the key to the city. Like it was kind of cool. Like C-Spot was like the thing, and I mean, when I got on and popping, I mean, I was out 6 nights a week shooting club nights. Just people having a good time, and that's kind of where it started. And the cool thing at that point, like there wasn't a lot of photographers out there shooting digital, because that's we need that for the web. So if you're not shooting digital, there's really nothing we can work with. No one got time to be scanning stuff in and all that type of stuff. So I was out at all the parties. So I was at the white parties, the Asian parties, black parties, everything, the college parties, the hood stuff. So I got exposed to a lot very, very early. But on the flip side, being at all those places, you just meet all kinds of random people. I've always been a people person, so it was always that question. I mean, clearly I got, this photographer badge on and this camera around my neck. Oh, you do photos? Yeah. And that kind of just turned into, can you do our album cover or, something along those lines? Yeah, sure. My thing was like, being having a hustler's mentality, like, I don't understand, no. My thing is like, if I don't know how, like, not yet. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I'm gonna figure it out. And at that same point, I was in school and my little side hustle would be taking pictures of people during break. So, I'm doing, lunch break or in between classes, I'm on some, let me take your picture. I'm running up to Kinko's, printing them out, coming back and selling it to them, doing $12 a sheet. Right. You want an 8x10, you want a couple 5x, whatever. I'm just doing my little layout and selling it to them and, making a little $30, $45, $85, but 19 years old, that's cool little pocket change for a day. Enough to put up on the cheap plastic vodka for the weekend, and you're good to go. Monarchs. Shout outs to Monarchs. You guys are horrible. I hate you. But it got us through the college parties. And then, but also while in school doing that kind of turned into I want to be a model, or can you take a picture of my kid, or the cool thing about college, you kind of meet all types of different people from all types of different walks of life, or and then you start getting hit with these random ones, a couple 6-7 months down the road, and it's like, yo, my cousin's getting married and the photographer fucking canceled out, last minute, can you do weddings? And some of this shit was like hella new, like sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And kind of figure it out. Out and about also, my guy Hector Ramos, who had Ramos Records at the time, who was also the son of one of the brothers that owned the Azteca chain. So he worked for them, and he just kind of knew me from out about, like, yo, do you shoot food? And I'm like, sure.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I just spent like a week and a half in my kitchen shooting all types of food. Never shot food before.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is not yet, right?
Right.
So I'm just kind of figuring it out, and then I was like, all right, shit, I got this shit. You know what I mean? Also, big shout outs to who was my guys? Glazers.
Yeah.
Camera, rental, lighting. That was
everybody.
literally my classroom for much of, cause I, quick little fast forward and rewind, going forward, I just kind of figured out, hey, this photography shit is popping. I'm gonna put school on hold, and I'm gonna see what this photography stuff can do. And then I got on the waiting list for Seattle Central has a really good, I don't know about now, but I remember at the point they were like number 4 in the nation.
Really good.
And it was like a 2-year waiting list. But during those 2 years, I was still shooting, doing my thing. I'll be at Glazers every weekend. Friday after 3, you get it for the whole weekend, return on Monday. And I was literally getting paid to learn, because I would, whoever it was, I would go to them, hey, this is what the look I'm going for. I could bring them in pictures, and they're super helpful and definitely looking out. And I own a lot of my lighting and stuff now, but I'll go back in there, and it's funny, some people are still there from way back when. And I learned a lot through them and whatnot. So they were definitely an instrumental part of that learning curve. Like, hey, I'm shooting this wedding, what should I use?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or well, where's it at? Are you gonna do natural lighting, flash, what? But they were definitely super helpful in that. And then going back to where we started. So then that also turned into shooting food. So I saw like 26 entrees over 2 days, and they were dope. I was in menus and publications for that next year.
Nice.
But now I had that in my resume. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm a food photographer now, and that was kind of my thing. Like, people ask me now, oh, what kind of photography do you do? And I was like, I just make shit look good. You know what I mean? Like, literally, whatever it is, I want to make it look good. That's my whole thing. What kind of lighting can we apply to it? What kind of composition can we find that's flattering for whatever that subject matter is? And definitely being a self-diagnosed ADD, living with, I think it works well. So it's kind of like, what do you like to shoot then?
Right.
I like to shoot what I didn't shoot yesterday.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope.
Sometimes I love working with models. Shout out to the models. Miss you, call me. And sometimes I like, shooting product, or, shooting some kind of campaign. And I've been able to do all of the above. And that's kind of one of those things, especially in that mid-2000 when the economy bottom rocket, or, fell out from the bottom. A lot of companies lost their marketing budgets. And, what's the first thing to go is, that's one of the bad things of creating awesome images is, realistically, you don't need to replace them. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, if you have the budget, they will replace them just so they can be cool. But a good photo can last you a while. You know what I'm saying? So I was kind of running into that a lot. Like, hey, what's going on? Oh, we're just going to use these ones, and they pay their licensing fees. Make sure you get your licensing fees. Copyrights are for 1 year. But you're not getting paid that full chunk to reshoot something. So my thing was like, all right, I gotta diversify. So it's like, I gotta literally shoot everything. If someone wants food, yeah, let's shoot food. We want some headshots, let's do headshots, album covers, whatever. Can kind of get that going. So, I'm building with C-Spot, going out, doing all these things, but then also building my own personal photography thing that kind of meshed. Because my whole thing is like, if you're out all the time, at some point, every walk of life is gonna go out to celebrate something.
Yep.
A graduation, a promotion, engagement party, a divorce party, or whatever. People at some point, and that's how I got to meet a lot of people and to get a crazy network. When you kind of look back, you're like, dang, I've met some really cool people throughout some really cool walks of life. Definitely had the benefit of working with some really cool nonprofits along the road as well. And those are good too. Like, I'm definitely a big community engager in that sense. My family have all been involved with stuff, with social change and stuff since before I can remember. So that's definitely kind of been something at the back that I kind of, I don't say battle with, because I'm definitely focused. I got goals and dreams and aspirations of building, I want to build generational wealth is like one of my things. And I know, what it's going to take to do that. But at the same time, you got to get back too. You know what I mean? So being able to kind of find time to do that, and want to bring people along with you, but kind of being able to identify You know, I actually saw something cool with Snoop doing something. He's like talking about the gap, where at first we all start here and you go up a little bit. You want to help your homies up, but at some point you get up there and it's like this gap is huge, and it's like you can't come down because then you're both losing. Right. So realistically, they got to come up. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, you want to support them along that road, but you can't force someone to eat. You can't force someone to wake up and hustle. But it's kind of like, you know, yo, I'm doing this. You know, I'd love for you to do it with me. I got opportunity for you to do it, but you know, I can't force you to.
Yeah. My next question for you is, do you like to party as much as you like to shoot?
It's funny. I was just talking to someone yesterday about this. We've been meaning to do some business together. And so it happens we're both going to be at this party tonight. So she's like, oh, we could talk a little bit about it. I was like, you know what? I don't really like to interrupt my partying with business. So we can reschedule with that. So, I mean, there's levels to this. Like I like to say, I spent majority of my adult life working, or what is that, partying on the job, I guess you could say. Or I just kind of in a unique situation where I could get work done, make money in a party environment as a club promoter, photographer, whatever. But I learned real fast, you know, there's objectives that need to be met, meaning, you know, if I'm shooting something, I can't have a bunch of blurry photos or whatever, right, and have it like that. But, you know, I used to call myself the Picasso with the camera because I would, you know, like his abstract work, that's how I feel, but the photos would come out dope. I'm like, I was just nice, son. But I called it getting to your happy place. I don't like being shit drunk. One is, you know, as a independent business owner or whatever, like, you are your brand. Like, that was something that I was very proud of and still am proud of to this day. You know, there's not a lot of people that can say anything bad about the Cross Money brand. That they do, fuck you. But, you know, I put a lot of effort into that, you know what I mean, by doing good business and doing right by people. If I'm saying I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If it doesn't get done properly, we all have mistakes, bad days. How can I make this right? But it's a lot of it is, you know, being able to conduct yourself. Like, don't be that guy or that girl, especially if, you know, you are your brand or you're representing something as well. Like for like C-Spot or whatever, I can't be going there, you know, cutting up in the club when it's like, man, we just let you in for free, and right, you know, we know you because of this or whatever. So I was, you know, big on that. So for me, it was really cool where you had a good work balance where I could have a good time with people. And be able to, you know, make that happen. Same thing with like actual photo shoots, you know, especially some of my large like fashion shoots. It's one of those situations where, you know, I like my stuff to be fun. You know, not a big proponent of having a lot of alcohol on set, but, you know, we definitely have partied a little bit, but we're also producing dope ass images. That's like the end thing. You know, I've worked with people that don't know how to handle their alcohol, models or whatever. We just got to send them home. Like, yo, you know, I don't know if you know, everyone isn't built the same. Right? You can't party like us. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if you're not getting the job done, then it don't matter. Like, I'm sorry, you can't hang like that. And you know, I'll be quick to shut something down if it does go that route.
So that does lead me to ask, as far as like the integration with the models, and obviously keeping it professional. You and I have had this conversation on a personal level.
Don't fuck the money.
There you go. And now, I mean, I'm not even asking about your experiences and whatnot, but you know, what advice would you give to someone who's just now getting into shooting models, who, you know, it's easy to try to live that life?
I think, for sure. I think it applies to anyone that works within an industry that you're working with the opposite sex. So that could be like a music producer, you're working with some up and coming R&B artist or whatever. Because a lot of time, you know, if you spend a lot of time with people, you know, attractions or whatever, you know, it's just human nature, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But you just gotta kind of figure out how you want to do it. Generally, my rule of thumb has always been, it depends on how I meet you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you're hitting me up about a photo shoot and that's how I meet you, then I kind of put you in this client category. So we can be cool, but I'm gonna make it a point not to cross that line because you're a client. You're paying me for a service at the end of the day. Right. And again, I don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? I've heard all kind of horror stories about, you know, weirdo photographers and not giving photos because they can't go on dates and all types of crazy stuff. And for me, I'm like, you guys are dumb, and these people are a lot, you know, short-sighted. I mean, it really is kind of funny because it ends up working in in your benefit if you don't mess with people. Like, man, just treat them good, be cool, and give them a great product, and they become your biggest cheerleaders. Like, man, Los was hella cool. You know, I was changing around him, and I felt comfortable. Like, he's good people. So, you know, chances are, pretty girls probably got some pretty friends.
Right.
And then now they put you on like, yo, he's good people. I'm just over here like, hey, what's up? And you know, and I've just kind of always been that where I've never really, and you know, I've lost out on some potential situationships, I'm sure, because I'm not like a big chaser. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like. You know, like for instance, like in school, it'd be one of those things where you just got classes with people, or you're surrounded by something just kind of organically builds. Like that's like my favorite type of scenario. But you know, nowadays, you know, you gotta fucking go throw someone in a lasso and bring it with you sometimes. But you know, things still happen organically. But that's kind of like been my forte anyway. So I've never really been pressed. And then again, I just kind of been exposed to beautiful people for a long time. And it's just like, it's one of those things where, all right, cool, you're pretty, and then what? You know? So I mean, I'm kind of looking at you skeptically anyways, for just being a pretty face. It's like, that's dope. You know, we can create some dope images, but as far as something I'm trying to progress with, you know, I don't know you. Like, you know, there's no reason to risk my reputation on something like that. But on the flip side, I've met people that were super dope and super beautiful, and we might have a connection and kick it or whatever, and then we end up shooting. So that's why I'm saying, like, oh, but what about that one girl? Like, hey, how did I meet you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Did I meet you as a client? Because it's kind of one of those things where I may have relations with someone that, right, I might have shot someone I had relations with, but I didn't have relationships with someone that I shot. So you gotta have that distinction.
And as a photographer, just as a creative period, do you have favorite photographers? Do you have people that you look at their work and you're like, yo, like I love
honestly, I can't think of someone like names off the top of my head, but I'm inspired by just dopeness, period. Like I'll see, you know, a dope hat or some dope shoes or dope photos. Like, yo, that's nice. I'm on Instagram all day liking. You know, I like the idea of people, like my flavor brand, you know, it's all about passion. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how like it started for me. So it's like when I see someone that's passionate about what they're doing, I'm just like, that's what's up. You know what I mean? You're not one of the sheeple. You know what I mean? You even if you do have that full-time 9 to 5 because you gotta take care of your 3 baby mamas and kids and what, that's what's up. But you still make time to go do something else. You know what I mean? Like that's what's up. Or someone that just said, just quit everything and I'm gonna backpack across whatever and shoot birds. Like, man, that's what's up. Good for you. At least you're out there, you know, following your passion, whatever it may be. So yeah, I mean, no, I'm definitely like a fan and get inspired by other people creating dope stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, like a lot of times with me, I get caught up with, you know, as soon as I shoot something, I'm like already bored of it because it's like I spent all day shooting it and then I spent all day editing it and I'm kind of over it. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, I'm already on to the next one, but then I'll spend the next 6 weeks getting praises of, oh man, that shoot was dope and da-da-da-da. I'm just like, I'm so past that shoot. Like I want to see something new, something different, and you know, always trying to kind of, you know, grab inspiration from different things. But yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'm sure I could find some names, but I mean, yeah, there's tons, man. There's a lot of talented photographers out there doing it. And in the same breath, though, there's also a lot of talented makeup artists, stylists, and hairstylists that make those shots happen. Like some of my dopest shots, there's no way they could have worked if it wasn't for those particular artists. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a team effort. And on the flip side, though, they may have not had their work captured properly if it wasn't for someone like myself. You know what I mean? So
explain to me, please, what flavor is, how it came about, and what your aspirations for flavor are.
All right. Well, I have this quotation on my business card from several years ago, and it was a connoisseur of the particularly excellent. That was my job title or moniker or whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of like, you know, where it kind of started, like pre-flavor. I just liked fly shit, you know what I mean? Like, and just into it. Like, you know, we can go to an art gallery one day and go watch monster trucks the next day and go hoop, go play ball, you know, baseball, whatever. I'm just into a lot of stuff. I like to have fun. I like new things. And I just, you know, and also I'm an admirer of people that are dope at whatever it is that they do. For me, I wanted to kind of, and being into a lot of stuff, you know, I was able to kind of, you know, like they say, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? So I definitely take that to heart and try to figure out ways that I can get involved and make money doing stuff I like. Like I, you know, early on, love partying, you know, throwing house parties. All right, how can we actually monetize this?
Right.
Oh, let's take this to clubs.
Yeah.
And then, you know, started making, you know, getting basically paid to have fun. And at first it was, let me just basically party for free was kind of like my initial goal, where it's like I can make enough money to where I'm not spending money. You know, it's like taking care of my drinks and my people or whatever. And then it was like, all right, how can we take that to the next level and things of that nature. And then just got into, you know, again with the photography joint, and got into doing graphic design and marketing via that, just because, you know, I designed my first business card, handed someone, oh, who did that for you? I did it. Can you do me one? Sure. Now I'm a graphic artist, right? And then got into doing marketing with the Toledo Casino. I had a real bad car accident, and I wasn't able to be on my feet as much. And then my boy worked at there, like, yo, we could use someone like you up here. And then we basically kind of built this marketing leg of Toledo Data Services that provided, you know, marketing, photography, and stuff for the tribes up there. Dope opportunity. Was able to work with them for about 5 years, and that was probably my biggest growth, because it's one of those things where you had this injection of budget where you could see your stuff on whole new things. It wasn't just flyers and business cards. Now it's like sides of buses and having to, you know, I never even thought about designing something for that, or billboards, or, you know, car wraps and things of that nature. And then it's like, all right, that's dope. And then figuring out, all right, target demographics of, you know, I knew how to market to my people, but how can I sell this message to their people, and kind of figuring out how that works and what kind of images pop for people and stuff like that. So I was able to kind of get into a lot of different things. But I like to shoot food, you know, I like to shoot drinks, I like to shoot people. I'm into sports. I'm into fashion and stuff like that. So for me, it was like, all right, I want a place for all of this to live. And that's kind of like where flavor came from. So it was like, all right, you know, I like to shoot and do my thing, but at the same time, like, you know, I get it, where it's like, I'm a big fan of myself and have a lot of self-confidence, and, you know, Team Los, I'm all for it. But I get it when I'm trying to do something that's bigger than myself. It's kind of, you know, I don't want to go the Trump route where I'm just kind of, you know, stamping Carlos Imani on everything that I do and I'm the best and the greatest. It's like, yo, I want to have this collaborative kind of force. So it's like, it can't be, I don't want to send people to carlosimani.com, which I have, check it out. But I want to have this other place where I might be the first, you know, throwing the first stick in the fire, but I want it to be a place where once that flame is lit, other people can come bring, you know, sticks to the fire. So what flavor is, in its essence, is a place for these passions to live. So I'm, you know, the idea was follow your passion, find your flavor. And flavor is just that, you know, it's whatever you're passionate about. Our number on the, you know, our back of our shirts, our jerseys, or whatever, is 24, representing that a true passion is 24/7. You can't turn it off. You wake up, you think about it, you know what I mean? And that's what I tell people, like, you know, man, I'm trying to get in something. Well, what do you wake up dying to do, or thinking about, or you can't get off your mind? Like, figure out a way where you can have a sect of something you're good at and something you like to do. You know, like me, I love music. I can't sing for shit, so there's no sense in me trying to be, you know, the next to bars. Even though if I was born in the 80s, you know, anyway, that's a whole other story. But I can shoot artists, and I can shoot concerts, and I can be around music and have fun doing that, right? So with the flavor, so we have this, you know, this brand, this you know, essentially a lifestyle brand, where we have the website where we can do features on people that are passionate about what they do, right? Within these different sects of, you know, fashion and beauty. So we have a dope, you know, model, or a dope, you know, sometimes we just do tutorials of just some, you know, that they call it, like, oh, a beat face. Like, all right, cool, let's, you know, show someone how to do that. Because there's people that are passionate about makeup. You know what I mean? We might do, you know, just did a photo shoot for, you know, this food thing that we're doing. This chef that, you know, culinary art, that's his thing. You know what I mean? Chef Jordan, you know, she's worked with Diddy, Mayweather. You know, went down to LA and shot with her, and, you know, we have some of her features on there as well. She's super passionate, dope. You know, Chef T. Will, he's Chris Bosch's, chef. Went and shot with him down in LA, dope house, by the way. And then went down to Miami and shot with them down there as well. And, you know, he has this thing called Edible Arts, where, you know, like, he literally looks at his stuff as a piece of art. and we're able to, you know, showcase that. Perfect examples that people are passionate about what they do. So same thing with, you know, sports features as well. And then we do this thing called Flavor of the Week, which is just, you know, a shout out to just, you know, beautiful women. But it's like, my whole thing was like, all right, instead of just throwing them up there, let's dig a little deeper. And like we like to do with all our people, it's like, all right, you're known for this, but what else are you passionate about? Because most people have a couple different passions. Yeah, yo, I'm a model, I love modeling, but, you know, my little sister got, you know, autism, and that's another, you know, super passionate thing that I like to be a part. You know, we like to raise money and awareness for autism. Like, oh, that's dope. And, you know, now you have these fans that didn't know about that can do that. Right. So that's, you know, that's kind of the core essence of Flavor in terms of the site. And then we got gear. I mean, you know, I'm wearing a little something we got right here. Shout outs to Flavor Jamaica. And you know, with the gear, it's kind of one of the things like, oh, you're trying to do a clothing line. Like, not really. I'm kind of looking at just having merch. You know, I try to, a good example I bring up all the time is Harley Davidson, where it's like, all right, their business model is motorcycles, but if you see someone wearing some Harley shit, some Harley gear, you know they're very passionate about that life, motorcycles. And by seeing it, you know, you don't just buy it just to wear, you know what I mean? Like, you have some kind of affiliation with motorcycles. That's what we want to do with the Flavor, where it's like, if you see someone wearing some Flavor gear, you don't know what they're passionate about, but you know they're passionate about something. You know what I mean? And that's what we want people to kind of wear as a badge of honor. You know, we've done work with people that, you know, dope BMX riders. You know, that's your Flavor. That's what's up. That might not be my cup of tea, but again, this is when I built the brand, it wasn't about me. Like, those initial tenets are stuff that I'm passionate about, but I didn't say, you know, fitness and basketball and baseball, but sports, because there's things that you might be into that I'm not, but I appreciate the fact that you're, you know, there's people that are dope at billiards, you know what I mean? Like to, you know, shoot the ball around a little bit, but by no means am I a pull shark, you know what I mean? But someone that's dope at it, man, that's what's up. You know, you got your 1,000 hours, 10,000 hours, that's what's up, good for you. And, you know, you can just appreciate excellence, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it boils down to, man. It's just a movement and a movement of acknowledgement and finding like-minded people, where it's like, you know, we love to eventually have like these little Flavor getaways where they're very specific into certain types of, you know, passions, where it's like, yo, let's get a group together that you guys is all into mountain climbing, or all into, you know, Caribbean beaches, or, you know, whatever it is, and, you know, be able to have like this community where if you see someone with it, you know, you can give them a little shout out, oh, what's up, you know what's up, you know, get that little, I see you, you know, I see you Flavor. And, you know, just something very inclusive, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of, oh, you can't sit with us. We're like, shit, well, come sit with us. As long as you're passionate about something, and you're dope, though. You can't just like it and not be good at it. It's kind of one of those things that kind of has to go together.
That's qualification. You got to be dope.
Nah, but I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you're out there and you're passionate about it, you know, it's all love. But we give special shout outs if you're passionate and good. But yeah, man, that's what it's about. It's an inclusive thing. We're just kind of pushing passion, getting off this couch. You know what I'm saying? Pushing, getting out there and just enjoying life and figuring that out, man. Like, less hate, more love. Like, you ain't got time to, and that's my whole thing. Like, I ain't got time to worry about this person or that person. Like, you know, I'm moving forward and onwards and upwards, man. Definitely. I try.
Yeah, I see.
I do what I can, man. I do what I can.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for stopping past. It's great to have you here, because I'm doing a bunch of reshoots, and I was like, who haven't I shot before? I've never shot with Los. And then at the time I wanted to shoot with you, then we didn't have the space to shoot. So yeah, I appreciate you, bro.
Time is everything.
Thank you, sir. Much you can fill out the book.
Yeah. What were the questions again?
They're just in the thing.
No, your questions that you asked me, because it says couch thoughts. And I'm like, well, the thoughts were along those questions.
The thoughts.
How I started?
The thoughts can't be in the house no more, because my girl live together now, so no more thoughts. What was the question? The question was how you got your start. Advice for photographers and dealing with models. And then
fuck them all. Just kidding.
And was like how Flavor got started.
She gonna give it, take it.
That's the model. Take everything.
No, if she gonna give it, take it. Don't be on that Kobe. Don't be racist.
She said, if she don't give it, take it.
That's what you said.
I said if she gonna give it.
Oh, okay.
Take it.
If she don't give it, bro.
Kobe, don't be raping.
No, and then we just.
That's either we fucking or I'm fucking. horrible.